I just wanted to say.
You're listening to
your fan favorite section on Break Time on Westside. Welcome to Break Time on Westside, your number one Break Time podcast, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is Sir Denver B, and this is the fan favorite section, episode number 16. So, as usual, on the fan favorite section, I will take a deep dive, go in, ask you what it is that you want me to talk about. I sample your questions. I look at some of the things that you wanted me to rehash from previous episodes. And I also do a deep dive into some of your lives and we discuss some shit. So I might as well start with the questions because I just have like 2 today. But these ones are pretty heavy. So first question. Hi. I seem to have a lot more female friends than male ones. I even barely have guy friends. And some people seem to be calling me gay now. Is it bad to have friends that are all female? Yes, it is. You should probably go get yourself checked by your nearest therapist. There might be an issue. You might be interested in dick now. So my young male friend, y'all need to know what, you know what to do at this point. Anyways, I'm messing. I'm completely messing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That isn't, at the same time, yes, you do need to get some male friends. You have said that you barely have any male friends, and it is understandable. But at the same time, having female friends, right, let me just outline the full benefits of having either. Having a lot of female friends is good in an emotional sense. You get in touch with your more feminine side. You get to learn more about some of the issues that women face. And it does kind of help you go a little bit further and find out, what it is that they want as women, some of the stuff that they enjoy, some of the stuff that they absolutely hate about guys, so that you can be a much better guy. And for me, as someone who actually does have quite a number of female friends, I can say for a fact, I've probably been a much better guy to a lot of gals because I have a close group of female friends around me. That being said, advantages of having male friends, you do get to learn more about being a better man, especially if they're the constructive type. You do get to learn more about being a better man. You get to learn some of the issues that men do face besides just your own, so that if you face it in the future, at least you might know how to handle it in one way or another. At the same time, you get to do a lot of guy bonding, because girl bonding and guy bonding is very different. And you probably know that right now. So I would say, you do get to learn to be a better guy, and you do get to speak on issues that you can fully relate with, as opposed to girls. Girls are some things that you can relate to, the others that you can't. And a lot of times there's stuff that you don't relate to. Now, cons of either. The first con of, having a lot of lady friends is pretty much self-explanatory. You're going through it right now. Some people might think you're gay, and you do get to pick up some of their behaviors. People say that you are the total sum of the close group of friends that you are with. So if you have a lot of female friends, you will tend to have some tendencies that are in some way a bit more female. Also, I've been told. And you might end up being labeled as gay, like you were being labeled as, according to your text. But at the same time, it does kind of make it a little bit harder for you to get girls, in a sense. I don't know. Like, there's this whole thing of, yes, if you have a lot of girls, then you can attract more girls. But if you're only around girls, then it starts becoming questionable for you as a guy, because there's a certain level of quote unquote macho man that you're supposed to have, and chilling with girls, not in a bad way, but it kind of drops. It kind of doesn't bring it out as properly as you'd want it brought out. Now, the cons of being with guy friends alone. You will kind of lose a sense of how to relate with the opposite sex. That one's straight up easy. Like, it becomes a hell of a lot easier. If you've only been chilling with guys, as a guy, even that. If you've only been chilling with guys, you only go out drinking with guys alone, you only, just meet up, play FIFA or watch football or watch whatever sport it is you want to sport, basketball, Formula One, and the likes. And, you just chill with guys. Speaking to girls becomes a little harder because you tend to approach things from a very guy-ish perspective. Other cons are you do become more susceptible to toxic masculinity. For those of you all that don't know what toxic masculinity is, Google is your friend, dictionary.com is your friend, but the short version of it is you're pretty much doing some things or saying some things that you perceive to be quote unquote manly, or you're refraining from doing some things that wouldn't be considered manly because you want to maintain a certain appearance of the man, of which in that case you do become a little bit worse of a human being, let's be very honest, and especially when it comes to social skills. But for the most part, I don't think there's much of a problem though. There shouldn't be much of a problem with you having a lot of female friends. Just get a couple of male friends as well to kind of balance the scale as well. It helps a lot. At least you get both sides on the whole table. And if you have both sides, you can balance stuff out. You get to learn a hell of a lot more from both sides, and you get to have I'd say a more neutral view of the world that you're living in. Now, on to the next question. Hey, why don't you guys care about your women when you have sex? Y'all are just about getting off and then you're done. My previous experience involved a guy that didn't make me come even once over the period that we were in the relationship, and he was just looking forward to his pleasure and not mine. Why do you guys do that? Oh yeah, that one's also pretty simple. We're just there to come. Like, we want to get off and then disappear. Like, first of all, ours has an easier indication. If white stuff gets out, we've gotten off, we're done. Ours also requires just one orgasm, as opposed to yours where y'all are about, you can have 2, 3, 4. If you're Genie Aiko, maybe you can have 9. And, we're a lot easier to handle. Plus, y'all don't exactly tell us when you're coming. Y'all just come and it's silent. And then, you expect, especially if it's like a colorless fluid, what the hell do you expect us to know? So yeah, we have to look out for our best interests, because looking out for both myself and yours as the woman just looks like too much work. That's the easiest version of it. Anyways, that is what the most ignorant person would probably say. For me, because I like to care about people, I care about the fellow woman. I'm equalist like that, if such a word exists. A lot of guys do kind of lack the care for their women, whether it's a friend with benefits, a one-night stand, their girlfriend, their wife, their, random bank partner, if such a thing can ever exist. They tend to ignore the feelings of the other person because it's almost been a thing for us guys. It's been seen as a reward system for us. Because as men, we've been brought up over time to think of sex as a reward rather than a privilege, in a sense. So a lot of guys will make sure they do everything possible to get to the point where they're in bed with a girl and she's naked and she's like, you know what, you can get in, and then they finally get in. After, as in for them, if they've crossed the border point where it's like all clothes are off and you can stick it in, they've handled the achievement and they never really think that far beyond that. So because of that, it becomes a massive issue for the lady, because this guy will go, he'll hit it. At some point, he'll be like, oh, damn it, I'm about to finish. And then, if he doesn't want the kid, well, he'll just pull out, or he probably has a condom on, he'll finish, he gets off and he leaves. Because, well, like I said, it's been used as a reward system for guys rather than, things like a privilege. So if it's being used as a reward system, that's how it usually tends to look like. And that's how a lot of guys have approached it. And it's almost the same way there's guys who, when they get a chance to have sex, they just hit it. It's just pa, 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 pa. Like they hit it with as much vigor, as much energy, as much power as they probably can, because they feel that that's what satisfies the woman most. You hit it till you quit it. Because I wouldn't even lie, as a nigga, I can probably say this. There's a manly feeling that you get with that. Like when you're hitting it hard, bro, there's a manly feeling that you get. And as much as some women actually do like it, I don't think all of them do. So I would say, not all guys do that. If you've had a string of guys who've done that, then I'm sorry. You should test out your dating and intimacy pool with more men, and you will learn that there's men that actually care about the woman and making sure that she gets off. Because I think I speak for quite a number of men when I say that whenever it comes to sex, it's usually good if you make sure that she comes first and then you come after. Or ideally speaking, both of you come at the same time. It's a very interesting ideal, and it's hardly ever achieved naturally, which is why sometimes people just have to calculate that shit. But it's a lot better for guys in general. When you see it coming from a lot of women that, men don't care about making the woman come, they just want to hit it and then leave, it doesn't feel that good. Which is why if you all go down of podcast episodes that are there, you will find that, there's the talk part 2, there's the talk part 3. Those specific bits on Battle of the Sexes actually do get into, having sex and the bits that are involved within it. Because I'm going to be straightforward. I have heard of instances where guys actually even skipped through foreplay, or they made foreplay last 1-2 minutes, and then they pretty much just took clothes off and they expected to stick stuff in. I have expressed my dislike of the fact that sometimes foreplay has to take forever so that y'all can get stuff moving, because there are times when some of us are in a rush, just saying. But at the same time, I have still come out and said that if you are going in with your shorty, make sure you're going to get that foreplay down right. Because if it's not done right, you'll go in and there's going to be a ton of friction because she won't be as wet. And then she's going to end up bleeding, and then it's going to become a mess. And I'm not talking about period blood. I'm just talking about regular blood, like regular blood. And it's not going to end up going too well for the both of y'all, because now it starts becoming this whole issue of y'all stop, the drive ends, and y'all are busy asking yourselves, oh, what the hell happened? Are you okay? Are you fine? Blah, blah, blah. And if the nigga doesn't care, he'll be like, oh, damn, I think I've done too much. Where's his clothes? Disappears. That's how trashy some niggas are. But I will tell you for a fact, as a man, if you are doing it, get the foreplay down right. You go in, try and make her feel as good as possible. So that when you're getting it done, because guys, we know these shorties don't like to do a lot of the work. As you're getting it done, you go, you get it done, you put in the effort, and you make sure you come afterwards. And, you make sure you feel all good afterwards, because you're happy, she's happy. Hell, you can go back in again. Unless it's one of those one-stand situations. Which is why I constantly tell people, just listen to my podcasts. You'll know more than enough when it comes to going and helping yourself as well as your fellow gal that you're probably smashing or dating. How it is that y'all can do stuff behind closed doors, between the sheets and all. Like I've been trying to tell people, you don't have to hit it that hard. Sometimes you don't have to hit it that hard. Like, fine, yes, there are some shorties who are like, chapa ilale. Or for those who need a direct translation, hit that thing right. They are obviously expecting that, but it's not like that's what it's supposed to be all the time. Like, yes, there are times when what she wants is fucking. And there are other times when what she wants is making love. Which is why I will tell you, sometimes play around with it a little bit. And when you actually think about it, you don't even need to put that much energy into hitting it. And I'm saying that as someone who takes an interest in much thicker ladies. Imagine trying to carry a BBW and hit it. Do you know how much work that is? Like, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. Like, BBWs are amazing. If you're thick, and you're curvy, y'all deserve a hell of a lot of praise from me. Mad shout out to you. But I will not try and make it seem as though y'all are light. Being heavy isn't a bad thing, to be honest. But at the same time, there are some things that you can't do with a much heavier, thicker woman, as opposed to a more petite, much tinier, much lighter human being. That is a fact, regardless of how big and buff you are. Like, there's a level of carry them, but there's still a level of fatigue that you'll get to. So obviously, there's some things that you can and can't do with them. Now imagine using up your energy trying to hit that thing. Like, when you put in that energy, you will be tired as a motherfucker. And at some point, you'll probably go back to your ends, and you're going to be tired as hell. Of which, let's be honest, you could have probably saved yourself 50% of that energy, maybe even 60%, if you didn't hit it as hard. If you didn't have to go and try and show that you're the macho nigga, that you're the man, that you're the big guy and all of this. It's not really worth it. You're not really trying to show it to anyone but yourself. And I feel as though that ego is a little too misplaced. So if you're going to hit it, you don't have to be that hard with it. But, if you're busy wondering when you should take it hard or when you should take it nice and gentle, I think the best one is just ask her. Ask her what she wants. It's a hell of a lot better. That communication is a lot better. And at the end of it, y'all leave when y'all are happy. Unless you choose not to give a head, then that's another story. But anyways, it has been me, Sir Denver B, busy answering your questions on Break Time on Westside. If you guys want to hit me up with some more questions, some more of that feedback, on our IG, it is at Breaktime_Westside. The Twitter handle is at Bagaka the D. And on Facebook, it is at Break Time on Westside. I will see you guys later.